Welcome to this week's Quick Charge. When the Apostle Paul wrote Timothy, twice he calls God invisible, a God who happens to be invisible on purpose. But being invisible makes things more difficult for us because we're obliged to then see the invisible, and that takes faith. So what should we consider as we look to him who is invisible? Well, one of the things that we ought to consider is this, that our present sight and our vision is darkened. Paul told the Corinthian church that for now we see obscurely in a mirror, but then it will be face to face. Now I know partly, then I will know fully, just as God has fully known me. The Amplified version of 1 Corinthians 13:12 says, "For now, in this time of imperfection, we see in a mirror dimly, a blurred reflection, a riddle, an enigma. But then, when the time of perfection comes, we will see reality face to face. Now I know in part, just in fragments, but then I will know fully, just as I have been fully known by God." So no matter what and how great my sight is at the moment, I'm still seeing darkly and dimly. It's an enigma. And that means that some things are going to be mysterious, they're going to be obscured and hidden because we only see in part. In Exodus 33, Moses, the one who the Bible says talked with God face to face, he still asked of God, "Let me see you." God said to him, "I will cover you." Literally, I will screen your sight. I will cover your eyes because you can't see my face. You can't see everything now and live. You see, we can't see everything from this realm we're in. And we can't live in this realm and ever see everything. Paul told Timothy in 1 Timothy 6, God cannot be seen, at least not in his entirety, not fully. So whatever I see is an incomplete picture. Paul said we know in part. We see a piece, we see a portion. We see one side, we see some, but not the whole story. And what is obscured makes the obvious make sense. So what's obscured and not seen is the key that unlocks the mystery. The part that I can't see explains and makes sense of what I can see. In 2 Kings 6, there was a servant of the Lord who found himself surrounded by the enemy. He sees enemy soldiers everywhere. But what he cannot see is the armies of the Lord that are around him. So Elisha the prophet says, "You're not seeing the full picture." And he prayed to the Lord that God would open his eyes. And momentarily, he was able to actually see what was obscured. So no matter what my life or my marriage or my situation is, or what even my enemy may indicate or intimate or infer, this is not the whole picture. There's a part that's still unseen. And the part that I can't see is what makes sense of it all, and it resolves all of it. I cannot allow a partial, imperfect picture, an incomplete story, to fool me or to force me into some sort of mediocrity or unbelief or discouragement or hopelessness. That servant was about to give up. He was about to give in because of what he couldn't see. Paul's prayer to the Ephesian church was that the eyes of your understanding, of your mind, of your inner sight, that they would be opened, made to see, illuminated. The word literally means to shed rays of light so that you might see more than the obvious. What I'm seeing right now is a partial picture at best. The rest I'd gladly hold in faith until the end, trusting Him. Join me next week for another quick charge. God bless you.